The scaredest I've ever been is like occasionally I'll be out and about, you know, shooting something and it's all fun and games, and then suddenly you realise you're going downhill and it's not as easy to stop. It's a bit, you know. Do my least annoying Australian accent for you.
You know, we got this one pair of skates back in.
Are you ready? Okay, I've got 10 pairs of high-heeled skates and we're gonna do my top 10 high-heeled skate moments. So this was the very first pair of high-heeled skates. They were blue glitter. I quite like blue. This pair was made in 2010. I had been searching on the internet for someone that could make me some high-heeled skates, and then I came across an artist called Hannah Havana, and she had made a pair of high-heeled skates just as an art piece. They weren't actually usable, but through talking to her, she knew someone else, Claire Grotfeld, who worked at the Royal Opera House making amazing opera house things, and she was able to make a usable, functional pair of high-heeled roller skates. This picture is in Paris when I was a baby showgirl. This was the first time that Joe Duck shot them, and this was at the Sydney Opera House when I was performing with La Soiree, and we found these cases backstage that said "must stay on wheels," so we had to get a picture. This was in New York at Union Square Theatre where I was performing another Joe Duck picture. I did a lot of shows in them, and I did Arab's Got Talent and also Britain's Got Talent, and I was coming in from the ceiling, so they actually sewed a huge piece of skin-coloured elastic into them so that I couldn't drop the skate onto anyone. And then this is the skates also in Paris again for Vogue Fashion Night Out, which was so much fun. I loved working with them. We did a roller skating hula hooping show in the shop, which was bonkers. Now it's 2013. These were my first designer pair of high-heeled roller skates. These were Terry de Havilland shoes. I met Terry, incredible shoemaker based in East London. This was the pair that we ended up turning into high-heeled skates, and they were also the skates that I broke a world record in. Fastest 100 metres in high-heeled roller skates. Next pair, oh yeah. These are also Terry de Havilland shoes. I did a custom David Bowie colourway for the David Bowie roller skating party at Moonlight Rollerway. They were a hit. This picture was captured by my good mate Gypsy, who is a huge Bowie fan. Yeah, we had a great time that night. Guinness World Record actually bought the skates to put on display in Ripley's Believe It or Not, so which I was psyched about because I found out that I was next to the Muhammad Ali exhibition. Great company, yeah, I was really psyched when I found out that's what it was next to, yeah. These were my first Charlotte Olympia high-heeled roller skates. I love Charlotte Olympia's shoes. She's an amazing shoe designer, and I think I wrote and begged her for these. They are full Swarovski heels. They're amazing. They're the most disco shoe, and yeah, I had these turned into high-heeled skates, and these are an absolute favourite. This was when I did some pictures for Adam Selman, who had done a sportswear range, and it just all fit so beautifully. Lots of Swarovskis. Swarovskis on everything. It was, yeah. The classy skates, very classy skate. My wedding high-heeled skate. Also Charlotte Olympia. This was a custom shoe that she made for me. I felt very honoured to get these skates. It's a combination of two different shoe models that she does. It had a fringed heel, so they sort of shake when you skate in them, and then a really delicate, beautiful Swarovski covered toe. They literally arrived the morning of the wedding, which was slightly stressful, but because it was a roller disco wedding and I had this ridiculous outfit planned around it. So I was really happy to get those. Oh yeah, lockdown 2020, oof. The world was like shutting down, but also roller skating was taking off, and everybody wanted to write something. Every major publication, from Vogue to New York Times, The Guardian to... But this was really funny. I got an image request to go with an article which was for New York Times. And I sent them this picture. I think you kind of can tell looking at my face, but I was 4 months pregnant, very sick, throwing up all the time. But no one knew because it was lockdown. You know, I had a pretty good bump in this picture, but thanks to this pose, you can't really tell. So that was fun. Then by the time I was really pregnant, I think I was actually 42 weeks and like 2 days when this picture was taken. I was like really pregnant. But I skated for quite a while through my pregnancy, and I didn't put anything about my pregnancy online until well after the baby was born, and I just, I'm not super into sharing that side of my life. But I did also, I had amazing pictures and moments being pregnant, and I skated, and there's a video from when this picture was taken of me spinning in my skates, and I knew the reaction it was going to get from people online. People had a lot of opinions, but a lot of people were really inspired and complimentary about it, and I think it's a really amazing time in a woman's life, and being able to celebrate that and still feeling like myself whilst not feeling like myself was important. This pair of skates can only be the product of lockdown, because I'd always wanted to have a skate like this, but the idea of it is ridiculous. It's a slip-on Hollywood housewife at-home skate that you can just like go from the kitchen to the lounge room. They never go they've been just outside the door, but they don't go outside. These are just purely an indoor skate. And this picture I took, which was also during lockdown, because this is when I found out that I was being inducted into the Guinness World Record Hall of Fame, which also, is this the point where I should go and find the Guinness Book of World Records so I can show you being inducted into the Hall of Fame? Look, I found it. I know I'm in the book, but like before I was in the book, I was always obsessed with world records. So I literally keep tabs on like, oh, remember that record, all my favorite records and stuff. So, and I got a spread. And then that's the Terry de Havilland, that's the high-heeled skates, and then obviously the hoop records, and then they list a bunch of different records in there. But yeah, now I really feel like I've made it. Karen, good friend of mine, based in New York. She's incredible artist. We had wanted to collaborate on a pair of high heel skates for ages, and this was the moment. Dita Von Teese was doing a live streamed show, so we like recorded everything and then it was like available online, and I was like, this is the perfect time to get these skates made so that we can have them showcased in that show. And yeah, they're really sparkly. Yeah, so this year, 2022, in Monaco, they had the Rose Ball, and Christian Louboutin was the artistic director, creative director of the show, and I was invited to perform, and I got a pair of Louboutin high-heeled roller skates, which is like unbelievable. Red bottoms and everything. We powder coated them. And it was amazing. Dita Von Teese was performing, I was performing, House of Drama were performing. It was nuts. It was also in a theatre that Josephine Baker had performed at in 1974 for her comeback show, and it was a light-up hydraulic stage that had a mirrored staircase that went. It was unbelievable. This is my first ever pair of commercially available high-heeled skates, which is a collaboration with Impala, my favourite. I've wanted to make a high-heeled skate that's accessible for people for years. I've tried convincing everyone to do it with me, and I started working with Impala in 2018, I think, when I did my first signature skate with them. I've been testing them out, making sure, all the little adjustments that need to be made to make the skate user-friendly have been there, and finally it's here, it's ready. You can see, also from this picture, like the skate feels very much also about my time in LA. The colours of the skate, it really draws on that amazing LA skyline. But the outside is kind of a combination of that amazing, those fields of poppies that you get in spring that are those, bright sort of tangerine-y, golden orange almost colour, which is also what you get in the sunsets here, combined with that baby blue. I mean, it took me a long time to choose the colour and I was really happy with how they've turned out, and I just think They go with lots of colours. They've got light up wheels. The wheels have got glitter in them. The boot itself is so sparkly, either under lights or in the sun. They just look amazing. So I'm very excited about them.